Mm. Welcome, everyone. This lovely Wednesday. It's a lovely Wednesday. I don't know how many of you guys were here last night for Hit the Bowl. I don't know. But if you were, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about this morning. If you were here for Hit the Bowl last night, you will vividly remember a little bit and her contribution to hitting the bowl last night. Listen, this girl, she's always been here for hitting the bull, but she's never. Oh, she went in. She's always been here. Did she? She sure did, comrade. She sure did. So much so that I stopped playing the bull because my son heard her. He came out of his room. He goes, "Ooh, ooh, I got her, mommy, I got her," and he took her, and she just, she was just, I don't know. But you see, if you were there last night, you are now thinking of what happened last night. You are thinking of what happened last night.
Yes, I am.
Right? You're thinking of it. You see? Here's the difference between thinking of something. You're remembering it. You're thinking of it. But to live from somewhere mentally, it means now it's something that you believe. So whether you believe, oh, what a good, you know what? It's going to be a good day. And you have a particular feeling in your chest. And you relax. You say, yeah, it is a beautiful day, isn't it? And you anticipate goodness. You are living from a state of expectation, of goodness. You're living from a state of what you believe to be true. If you live from a state of, oh, there aren't any good people in the world, it's just chaos, then you have to see the evidence of what you believe. That's living from it. You create from that place. But when you think of something, you're just recalling a memory. But if you believe what it is that you recall, you believe it. There's a difference. When you believe it and it rules your life and you behave from there. For instance, oh my God, I'm so shy. I'm so scared to talk to people. Clearly she's not. But if you say that to yourself when you go out, you don't look people in the eye. And if they say hello, you kind of sort of mumble hello back. You're living from a place of shyness. You're living from a place mentally of, ooh, what do they think of me? You see, begin to differentiate between living from a place and thinking of it. Begin to differentiate those two things. It'll save you a lot of trouble. Because when you can see yourself in action, when you can see your behavior, you'll begin to recognize the state that you are in mentally. And when you recognize the state that you are in mentally, now you can predict. Because it's the law. You know the cause, you can predict the effect. Right? So practice today as you go out into the world. Are you thinking of or are you living from? Well, that depends on your behavior. Look at your behavior. We learned that in the lecture last night. Observe yourself, and you'll begin to see what you are doing. When you see what you are doing visibly, now you know where your mental state is. Now you begin to know where your mental state is, and then you know where you are living from. It's a simple thing, but if you pay attention, it'll make much more sense to you, and you'll be able to change your state on a dime. But you have to watch what you're doing, which means you have to be aware of your behavior. Be aware of your behavior, because the state that you live in, your mental state that you live in, is the thing that controls your behavior. Hmm? It's not random. We are controlled by our beliefs. If you believe that there's good people in the world, well, you will encounter them. You're putting them there with your beliefs. But if you say, oh, there's no good people in the world, just evil everywhere, what do you possibly listen? You believe that thing wholeheartedly? Well, then that is exactly what you will experience. Don't get it twisted, right? Don't get it twisted. So practice watching yourself, and you will see where you are living from. You will see your state. You will see your habitual state, because we do it habitually by habit. What is a habit? Something that you do the same way every time until you don't even have to think about doing it anymore. You just do it on autopilot. That's the habit. That's how we live our lives. We streamline it with habits. So the state that you are living from mentally has only become a habit. Why? Because you've practiced living from that place. And here's the thing, it is the law of rhythm that guides a habit. A habit may look like law, but it is only a behavior that is governed by law. It is not law itself, but it sure feels like one, doesn't it? Because you're compelled to do it. Hmm? So pay attention to your behavior, and you will recognize the state. And the state is practiced until it becomes your second nature, your habit. That's the best way for me to explain to you the difference between living from a state and just thinking of it. Now, here's how you can move from thinking of something to living from it. For those of you who remembered a little itty bitty last night, listen, if you stopped to laugh, if you stopped and you listen, a guffaw, a big laugh that you couldn't help yourself. You see that? You remember it, you're thinking of it. But if you say to yourself, you know what? I like this state. I want this state right here. This uh this laughter, this joy. Every time I need some joy in my life, I want to recall this and laugh again. Now you've moved from thinking of it, and you're going to start living from it, because you're putting it in its place to say, you know what? This is what joy feels like. This right here is what joy, true joy and laughter feels like. So if I say joy and laughter, there's joy and laughter in the world, pull this up, because this is exactly true. There is joy and laughter. And you use that memory and allow it to become a state for you, so that the next time you find yourself in an undesirable state and you want to flip it, Bring up the memory, and you will feel the vibration right away because it flips you. You will literally feel yourself move from where you were to where you're going because it's visceral. Visceral means you can feel it in your body. So you'll move from it. Like if you feel, oh, I'm so melancholy. And you say, whoa, whoa, you know what? I don't want to feel that. It's not that I don't want to feel it. I just don't want to create from that place. So where do you want to create from? I want to create from a place of laughter and joy today. What can I remember? What memory can I call to mind that absolutely moved me? Let me create from there. And you bring up the memory a little bit. And I promise you, you will laugh again. And the moment you laugh again and you feel that lightness of joy, you say, all right, let's create from here. What more joy can I experience today? You know what? Let's create that. And you go through the day and you know because you believe it, because you just pulled it up for yourself and you switched your state. Now you're living from a state of joy and laughter. And everywhere you go, you don't just observe it, you are the cause of it. That's what we can do with our memories, right?
And just to say this, right? This is what we have to realize. We are the only power. No matter what somebody is doing outside of you, only you are the power. It's only one God in your reality. So somebody may try to self-use like an actor, right? And you play the role so good that people just can't drop that. They can't drop it. They're like, I know Denzel is playing Coach Carter, not Coach Carter, but let's just say one of his better movies when he's like a good character, right? But we just can't drop Training Day.
Yeah.
But why would he sit up and miss out on his Oscar because he's sticking to the old role because somebody's holding him to Training Day? So what he has to do is such a great actor as he is, he cannot allow the public to say, no, you're the guy from Training Day. He has to acquiesce to his new role. Drop the old script. It's just a story.
Well said, Marquise. Well said, because you're absolutely correct. What a beautiful analogy. What a beautiful analogy. You see? We remember him most for Training Day. And so we hold him there. Right? We hold him there. In our minds, that's where we hold him. But as an actor, he knows that was just a role. And he can change the script at any time to become a different character, live from a different place. But you see the power we have to hold each other captive? If someone has always had the attitude of, they're just so bombastic, they're just so argumentative all the time. Every time you think of them, you see their old behavior. And thus, your behavior towards them has to match the way you see them. So you're thinking from that place. You hold them there instead of seeing them in a different light. Remember, Neville says, elevate our brothers and sisters. See them in a new light. Allow them to play their different role instead of holding them captive. I love it, Marquise. Thank you for that. Brilliant observation. So today, where are you living from mentally? Begin to pay attention, closer attention to your actions, because your actions will tell you the words you're speaking, and the words you're speaking will tell you what you believe yourself to be. And that's where you're living from. And if you don't like it, you acknowledge it. Because, we want to know, well, where did that come from? I didn't just wake up one day and say I'm going to be this way. Nah. And you find what it is because you'll remember it. and you revise that old memory to give you the new behavior that you want to do instead. You see, revision is beautiful. It is. So today, remember to recognize where you are living from. Watch your behavior because our behavior is governed by the belief that we hold of ourselves or the belief that we have that somebody else, that we think somebody else has of us. But ultimately, it is our belief of ourselves, right? That's how you do it. And when you see what it is you believe of yourself, you're faced with the question, do I want to remain as I am or do I want to change? Simple question. And you know how to change. Change. The inner state and the outer experiences will modify themselves to match. As within, so without. What did Neville say in his lecture last night? It is not what goes inside that defiles, but it is what comes out of. Well, as within, so without. That is the law of correspondence. See? Take your time and observe yourself because that's how you will make the changes in your world. The thing that keeps popping up the most, because you'll say to yourself, man, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep behaving like this? Why do I keep choosing the same type of relationship? Why do I keep choosing the same type of thing all the time? That's your cue right there. That is the belief that is running your life. And if you examine it, which is honesty with self, acknowledging, don't run from it, acknowledge that it is there, and then decide, whoa, shorty, is this for me? Or would I prefer something else? Do you see how you have the power now to change your life with the simple act of observation? Observation, acknowledgement, asking the question, and applying the law. You see, because sometimes we get stuck in the observation part because we don't know what else to do. We just keep watching ourselves do the same thing. The next step after you observe is that good enough for me anymore? Is that serving me anymore? This place that I live from, this current mansion that I live from, you know what? Let me upgrade. Let me upgrade it, right? Let me upgrade. Let me get a new state, a new mansion, a new way of living. Recognize it. Don't judge it. Oh my God, I'm still here doing the same dumb things all the time. What? How is that helping? It just compounds the sensation of, ugh, I feel horrible about myself. No, that's not what observation is meant for. Observation is not a whip that you beat yourself up with. Observation is the tool that will move you from the undesirable to the desirable. That's what it is. And once you observe it and you ask, hey, wait, is that good enough for me anymore? No. Then what is? How must I see myself now? Because it is how I see myself, where I'm living from, that will cause me to behave a particular way in the world. How do I want to behave now? Because remember, you can use the effect to bring about the cause. So how do you want to behave? What effect do you want to have in the world? Start to see that new effect mentally. And I told you, you do it all the time naturally. When you try on a new piece of clothing and you have already done 6 or 7 different outfits, but you haven't even changed clothes. What did you change? Your mental vision. You saw yourself in all the outfits that that one piece of clothing can go with. Well, that new attitude that you want, try it on in every aspect of your life and see how it goes. And once you see that this is better for me, now the thing that you've seen yourself do over and over mentally, and you see your new behavior from there and how the rest of the world molds and conforms itself to you from that new place, that new mansion, that new window you're looking out, your new neighborhood. Well, then you'll see the people treating you different. Now your behavior will change to match your world that you've just conformed. You've shaped it based upon your newness. This is what you'll do. And you will find that you'll say to yourself, oh my God, changing is easy because you know how to apply it. That's how you'll do it. Let's take a brief moment, shall we, to welcome everyone into the space this morning. Ah, sweet tea, honey. It's good to see you here on Twitter. I know the rest of them will have to be part of the replay gang. But it's good to see you, darling. It is good to see you right here on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. I know Indy's here. Ah, the better man. Okay, Chanel. Cyber, noted. Two Adams, noted. I will find that lecture. Yeah. Everybody has you pushed out. Yes, it's true. It's the man in the mirror. You gotta change. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Yeah, you gotta change that reflection, right? Sugar Visions, Joaquin. Hello, Ruby. Ruby says the bowl session. It was the first night she had a peaceful, calm sleep. Mm, you gotta love the law of vibration, though. A not, I see you. Welcome, and for the ones who've not made themselves known, I see you also. Fan base, uh, my ever-present flow smiles. 777, Stephanie, Matthias, Zeesty, Miss McQueen, KZ, Comrade, and Jeannie. Afternoon delight, she's here too. Coach, my melanin, Marquise, Zola, Oracle Treehouse. You know, I did sing Summer Rose last night because I saw her last night. But I trust today that it makes sense. Hmm? I trust. I trust that it makes sense. You know, Marquise, you can catch the replay of last night's bowl. And you'll hear what we were talking about a little bit. Don't worry. I tell you,
Mark. Ain't nothing like the real thing,
baby. Marquise, that was awesome. Because you know what? It's true, but you gotta love a replay, though. You do. But that's what I'm saying to you this morning. Observe yourself without the judgment. If you catch yourself judging yourself and your behavior, you are living from a place of judgment. You're living from a place of judgment. You notice the all doesn't judge you, you judge you. The all says, hey, you got it in the bag. You can do anything. Because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Nowhere in there does the all say, oh, look, there's that behavior. You're no good. See? I told you was no good. That's not what the all does. It does not judge you. It simply asks, is this good enough for you? Do you like that behavior? Do you want to stay in it? It's always calling you to greater heights, deeper depths, all at the same time. The same time you go higher, you're deeper. Fancy that.
You know, maybe if God was a man or a woman, then it would be judgmental. You know what I mean? It would be like, Hey, you remember when you did this? You remember when you did that? But the conviction comes right from you. You are the operating power.
Yes.
So once you let it go, you're repenting. You're free from every shortcoming you've ever had. Because guess what? It's still just a story. Read a new book. Write a new script.
Mm. Facts on facts. That's a new thing I learned here on Fanbase. Facts on facts. It's so true. It's so true. That scripture comes to mind. God does not see the way that man sees. God sees the heart. Thereby it doesn't judge. Because it's not a man that it should lie. That includes women too. Don't get it twisted, right? It's not human that it should lie. It's not going to lie to you. It'll always raise you up from any undesirable place that you think you're at. I feel you, baby. I feel you. She's right.
And guess what? Judgment Day is every thought.
Hey.
Every thought that you tend to accept as your reality that you live from is your judgment day.
Oh, Marquise. Isn't there a scripture? There's a scripture for that. I'm trying to recall what that scripture is. I'm trying to recall that scripture. What is it? Say what you said again, Marquise.
I said every day is your judgment day. Every thought is your judgment day, rather. So, yeah.
Well, the first one that comes to mind is judge not lest ye be judged. Here's the scripture. You must give account. On the day of judgment, you must give account. So if judgment day is every day, you are giving account every single day for what you believe yourself to be. You can't escape it. It's the law of correspondence, as within, so without, cause and effect. So you're ever held to it, ever held to it. It's not that you say, well, I'm just going to stand in this big line and then I'll see my life. Nah, I don't know if that happens, but I do know what happens here right now, cause and effect. You always give a reckoning for the predominant state that you live from because you see it every day in your behavior. So you're always held account. Cause and effect, you can't escape it. So yes, judgment day is every moment of the day. And then it is up to you. So today, my beautiful friends, where do you want to live from? In my house, there are many mansions. Choose the mansion, which is a state of being. Choose it and go with it. Because you know now that all you get to do, see, the law makes it simple for us. You see the undesirable behavior, you recognize it, you acknowledge that it is there. I will keep telling you to acknowledge it because transmutation, not presumptuous denial, yes, honey, is the weapon of the master. Right? Transmutation. Don't deny that it's there. Look at it. And you say, what can I reshape this to be? That's why you don't deny it. Because the energy is there. It takes shape. It's there. It's palpable. Don't let it fizzle out on you. Acknowledge it and then reshape it to better suit yourself. That's why you transmute. Don't deny it. Because then denying it doesn't make it go away. The energy builds. Right? It builds. So learn to reshape it so you can not let anything go to waste. That's why you practice the art of transmutation, taking the undesirable and reshaping it into something that is desirable. Not just something physical, but the energy of it. Use it to propel yourself forward. That's why Romans 8:28 will make sense for you. All things work together for good for those that love the Lord. How do you make it work for good for you? You see that thing that used to annoy you? That's you can feel it in your body. That's vibration. You can feel it, right? Because it's moving. But change what you want to feel like by reshaping that energy source. How do you do it? Polarize yourself in a new direction. Because you're just all you're doing is redirecting that energy like a great kung fu master. That's what you're doing, using the energy to do something else. That's something that's better for you. That's why it is best to not deny what you are going through. Don't deny it. Don't try to pretend that it isn't there. Oh, yeah, I'm the great pretender. I can sing that with conviction because I know a thing or two about pretending. Don't pretend that it's not happening because the energy will not go away. It begins to churn more and more and it agitates you. But if you acknowledge this happened to me and you can feel it in your body, okay, I know it happened. Now what do I want to do with it? Neville says to do what? When you transmute, revise.
And guess what? Do not be afraid of the test. Do not be afraid of the challenge. Do not be afraid of negativity. Do not be afraid of resistance because you must be tested to make sure that Christ lives in you.
Mm, facts on facts. Right? And Marquise, you're so right. Why be afraid of the negative when you have the power of transmutation? Remember, you can reshape. So it might look negative at first upon your acknowledgement of it. But then you say, whoa, whoa, girl, what do I want this to become instead? Reshape it.
Guess what? If it was no Satan, God wouldn't be able to be glorified. Like this, it all people say, why didn't God just take care of Satan? No, it's not about Satan. God already said, I kill and I make alive. So in order to bring that glory into manifestation, you must be tested. This is all a little game. Who will win?
There you go. You are already the winner. Huh? See it? Mm. Listen.
That's a fact. You are already the winner.
Right?
The game is an illusion. You're just playing for fun. No stakes. No stakes up.
You see that place that he said you're playing for fun? That is a state. That is a state of being. So now when you look out into the world, your behavior, you know, hey, I got this in the bag. I am not held captive by anything. I can transmute. Why? Because you know you are already the winner. And you don't sit there and go, you don't do it. But you change your situation by reshaping that energy into what is more beneficial for you. And you won't know what to do until you do it. Test it out for yourself. That's like Marquis said, that's the test. You're testing your skills of transmutation. Here's my problem. What's the solution? Well, then reshape. Who are you reshaping? Oh, you. Because when you reshape yourself, you change the outside. Hey, girl, you turn around and face me. Oh, look at you. You too sweet, aren't you? You just want to see everybody? Okay, I see you. I'm right here with you, girl. So this is, look, I'll tell you, I've learned much by observation. Much. Practice is one of the first things I have learned. And it was confirmed in the very fact of this little bit. Because remember how she came to me with the inability to walk. And I said, nah, I won't have that. And now here she is. Is she fully 100%? No. But if you watch her, she practices at every opportunity. She takes a rest when she's tired and she gets up and she does it again. And she does it again because she's got to bring that leg forward. And every time you watch her, it's getting closer and closer to being in the right position. So when I tell you that you can learn from every aspect of life through the simple art of observation, now you will know how to behave. We learn by practicing. It's what we do day in and day out. Practice how you want to be by doing the thing. But you've got to see it. Go ahead.
I tell people, right? I said this is the thing. I used to love drinking. I mean, every day. I mean, I was really getting into it. I mean, the spirit was flowing through me, right? But the thing of it is once you understand this law like this, the, your body is made of water, and you transmute it and turn it to wine. I mean, I'm literally walking around like I'm drunk right now. I mean it's just, I'm done, man.
I love that you said turning water into wine, because the art of transmutation. So when you remember that story in the Bible where what was his first miracle? Turning water into wine. So now you take your knowledge, you apply the practice, and you take yourself from water. You say, the wine is good. How so? Because now you see the evidence of the work that you put in. You moved yourself from where you were to where you wanted to be. You didn't want to be water anymore. You said, I want something beautiful now. So let me take this water and transmute it. That's why, Marquise, I love the fact that you mentioned the negative this morning, because so many of us are afraid of, but the negativity. So many of us are afraid of it. But when you know you have the power to transmute negative into something beneficial, or as Neville says, the undesirable into something desirable, now nothing stands in your way. You don't have stumbling blocks anymore. You transmute stumbling blocks into stepping stones. So it doesn't matter what you, okay, I'm not saying it doesn't matter what you've gone through, because that would be insensitive. What I'm telling you to do is put it into perspective. Some people say, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Ah, yes, but you don't want to come out hard hearted and close yourself off from experiencing the beauty of life. What you want is, you see that experience that may have hurt you? The energy is there. So when you feel that pain, don't live from the pain. Look at the pain and say, whoa, hold on a minute now. I want to change this pain into something beautiful. And now you transmute it. You say, you know what? I acknowledge what happened. I acknowledge this thing hurt me. Yes, it did. But you know what? It will not continue to hurt me anymore. Let me use it now to bring joy to my life and to the life of others. What can I do? What action can I take? How can I bring the love now? Because that's what you're doing. You're molding it and shaping it into something beautiful. So that's, go ahead.
People are going to be obsessed with, the thing of it is, let me just keep it honest 100%. People are obsessed because they don't know better with being
Yes.
humans. With being humans, you should be. You're trying to be me. You're trying to be the story, but you're gonna forever convince and convict yourself in that story until you accept that you are not a me. You are I am. You will fall. You will perish. You will suffer until you say, "I'm going to live from I am and not from me."
Exactly. Exactly. See it? That's the beauty right there. That's exactly what it is. We either prolong our suffering or we change it, right? All because of what? The grace of the fact of having the law. We don't have to suffer anymore. Look at the situation, acknowledge that it happened, and now be a master of the art of transmutation, taking what was once painful and making it into something beautiful so that now you flourish. If you know anything about farming and you have chickens, the manure from the chicken is rich in nutrients. Hello. That's what you transmute.
But you know what? People, another thing is, everybody hates to lose their ID. Like I thought I had lost my wallet, but I just held the faith, right? I was at the club Saturday night. I mean, having a terrific time, right? I mean, just really living, you know? And I dropped my wallet, but guess what? I never lost my wallet because I held the faith that my wallet would be found. And somebody found me on Instagram, that a mutual friend, that said, "Hey, I have your wallet." Right? So somebody tried to pick up my wallet and steal it, but here's the thing. I'm saying all this to say this. Everybody hates losing their ID, and that's why nobody wants to switch to I am. Because they're like, if I give up this story, then how will my life make sense? I don't have this little story to hold on to. No, this has been controlling me, the trauma. What will I be without the trauma? You'll be I am, where everything is.
Oh, let me pull an Oracle Treehouse. That part. That part. Yeah, cause I know you. Say it, Oracle Treehouse.
That part. That part. Marquise, I love you.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love
you too.
See? That's what we do. We hold on out of habit to the old story. And because we're living from it, it continually rules our lives and makes us feel weak and powerless. But the moment you get a hold of, I am the builder of the story. See how powerful you are now? Oh, I just love you guys. I really do. I really do love you. So remember today, observe your behavior, and you will see where you are living from. Acknowledge it, and then ask, is this good enough for me? I'm moving to higher heights. Some things can't come there. So let me let this go. Let me get the bowl for you. But before I do, yeah, Cyber. You see, in fan base, when somebody comes into a room, the mic, if they don't know that the mic is on, you'll get to hear everything that they're hearing. So that's what happened last night. But from that, do you recognize what had to be repeated? A particular phrase every time had to be repeated. That was by design, I should say. It had to be repeated. Something that we would remember. Anyhow, let me get the bowl. Let me get the bowl.
It was a test of composure because I was over there looking at them genie with the fire of a dragon. Because I mean, not because it was her fault, but I was just like, I can't believe somebody just came in this space jamming whatever song that was. I was like, you know what? Stop letting people up that we don't know.
Yes.
Until she's done talking.
Yeah. but it's part of the process. So,
Correct.
it's part of the learning process. So, it's just all it was. And so I said, but now people will stop asking me, is that a recording I'm listening to? Or are you reading live? Now they'll know.
Yeah.
Now they'll know I'm reading live, right? So it's just, Sonia, darling. Sonia, are you?
That's right.
Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say you read so fluently and so eloquently. Sometimes I don't know when you're finished the lecture because you sound like you're still reading it. And I'm like, was that her or is that Neville? Because it sounds the same. I love it though. I just want to know that.
Oh, thanks, Erica Treehouse.
Angela and Neville are one.
That part, yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes, yes.
I have often wondered because there aren't any coincidences. He's from Barbados. I'm
I
from
was gonna say
Barbados.
that part.
Like,
Y'all are one.
well, there's only one spirit, right? One God. But I often wondered, what are the chances?
I believe in reincarnation.
I don't know. It's not that I don't believe in reincarnation, but that one's hard for me because it's
Or
Neville.
just channeling. You're channeling him.
I
Correct.
I don't know. I just know what I hear, and I open my mouth, and there it is. That's,
Well, I'll tell you a funny thing, right? I
mm-hmm.
was on before I found you again this lifetime, right? I was listening to Neville Goddard, and I hated hearing him being read by other people. I was like, this is so annoying. I would even listen to his audios that were like messed up, like need to be digitally remastered. I would just barrel through them and listen. But once I found you, I was like, I like this.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
You're right, Marquise. You're right. Because some of the recordings on YouTube are they're nothing like you, Angela. Nothing. So this is the
Wow.
one point.
See, why thank you. But no, I just thought, well, this is interesting because I can't say by accident because there aren't any. I came across him because he was in my YouTube feed and I saw the name Goddard. And I was like, wait a minute. That is a Bajan last name. That's the what is this? And then when I pressed play, I was like, wait, my grandfather is talking? Because that's how my grandfather spoke. And I was like, my word, what is this? And so ever since then, I was like, huh. And then it was, I don't know. It's just, and the funny thing is, I know someone who is acquainted with his daughter, Victoria.
No, that is cool.
In,
Yeah.
indeed. I'm working that right now to see if that can be. I shouldn't say to see if it can be part of. If I want it to be part of, I just have to claim it is of September 2024 because I think it would be absolutely brilliant to to have that be part of our experience. You know,
Yes.
um, yeah. So it's just one of those things begging to be explored. I see you come right in two places at once. Omnipresent you. I see you. Let me get the bowl, y'all. Marquis is in the house. Amelie is in the house. I see y'all. Let me get the bowl. I have to scroll down here. And my girl is preening right next to me. I wonder if she'll make any noise when I play the bowl. We about to find out. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Sweet tea, much love to you. Thank you for being here on Twitter. I look forward to seeing you tonight, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you are available, for our next Neville Goddard lecture. I don't remember which one, but it already is posted on my YouTube. So I'll see you tonight. Much love, darling. Much love to you. Twitter is closed. YouTube and Facebook, Humanity First, Sonia, The Better Man, K Chanel, Cyber, Sugar Visions, Joaquin, Ruby Darling, Anot, and for all the others who've not made themselves known in the chat, I see you, and the replay gang. The Better Man. Woohoo! Much love to you all.